Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna talk about the stars and bliss situation. Yeah, and how bliss is the real problem of the whole relationship. And I don't understand why people try so hard to gaslight everybody else into believing bliss is the victim and stars is just pure evil. Bliss did nothing wrong. Like, no. Okay, listen, there are two sides of the same of two sides of the story. Yes, both Blitzo and Stolas did things that were wrong. Yes, but they both equally at fault. Oh hell no! The majority of the problem is Bliss. Now let's just start from the beginning. The day they reunited. Now Bliss went there to steal from Stolas for the second time in a row. Remember? Now, don't try to make excuses by saying, oh, his daddy made him do it. No, the, that was only the case the first time around. And if he didn't do it again, I would have just let that slide. I wouldn't count it. But he chose to do it again all on his own as a fully grown, independent adult with complete control over his own life. So no, I'm not letting him slide. So that's one. Now, Studs, yes, he was married. So it was an arranged marriage to an abusive woman. If Studs was the woman instead, and he succeeded on her abusive husband, you would not kill. But because Studs the man, all of a sudden he still needs to get crucified for that. And people keep saying over and over that he never faces consequences for his actions. For the most part, he's the only one who's in fact facing consequences for his actions. His wife literally hired a hitman. What problems did Bliss run into after being the little side piece? I'm waiting. Nothing. His life got better. Stars is letting him use the book. Which Bliss is not entitled to. The book belongs to Stars and him alone. It doesn't matter. The Bliss's business will go belly up without it. He's the one who chose to put himself in that situation. Why did he specifically wanted Stars' book when he could have just gotten an osmodeus crystal like his sister Barbie did? She's also an imp, which means if she can get it, he can also get it. So clearly classism isn't an issue when it comes to the crystals. He could just ask for one. Also, he didn't care enough to let Stars know that there was literally a man trying to kill him. That by itself should already make Stars go, there were multiple reasons before that, but that's like a big, huge deal. He didn't care enough to let you know someone was trying to kill you. So what if you're a model? He still should have said something. You can still feel pain. I'm sure he knows that. Most at least. Yeah, you still, when he was about to get executed, you still went there thinking you might end up dying from doing this. to save this idiot, as you literally call him. Why am I really withdrawing my life away for this idiot? You literally said that. So you know, why are you doing this? He did not care enough about you to let you know you were in danger. And also, when you told him to, hey, it's alright if you come visit me, he never did. Why are you still hanging up by him? I don't understand it. You are wrist and you are adorable looking. Like, I'm pretty sure you can have whoever you want in theory. So why are you picking this little sunbird looking little thing who talks sugar honey iced tea to you all the time? Oh yeah, that's another thing. People, do these people like to hold against Stolas? It's him calling him little imp. Well, he is a little imp. What's the problem? Just yesterday, somebody called me Hispanic lady over there. That's what I am. I didn't get offended by it. And Frankie Blitz doesn't look offended when Stolas said that to him. He was like, whatever. He said nothing. Also, oh wait, I almost forgot. Yes, he sounded very uppity while he said that. It did sound condescending. But look who he's talking to. He's talking to Bliss. Everything that comes out of Bliss's mouth is basically an insult to someone else. The only time he isn't like this with Luna, that's it. But yet, it's bad if somebody else just calls him a little imp. Can you please process that in your brain? Also, you can pray about the one time he grabbed Bliss's stick and pinched it. Bliss did the exact same thing to Moxie in episode 1. Again, why is it only bad when Stolas does it, but it's okay when Bliss does it? The exact same thing. Yeah, now some people say Stolas is racist. He looks beneath them. Calling him a little imp is racist. Well, Bliss calls Boasica and all the other succubus succubuses. Yes, I purposely mispronounced that because I don't like cursing in my channel. Now, can that be taken as racist? Again, it's the whole, it's okay when Bliss does it, but nobody else can do it. Ding. So people say Stolas never acknowledges his wrongdoing. He did what he did. The reason why he got the crystal in the first place was because he realized on the Aussie episode, the Bliss basically stressed that he does not like the situation though, at least not completely. He low-key feels used. And so Stolas like, oh, I messed up here. I thought it placed us in a situation we were both benefiting in, we were both happy with it, but clearly it was only me. So he got the crystal. He asked Aussie for the crystal. And then he gave it to Bliss. And the moment he did that, he lost the upper hand completely. There was literally nothing left the Stolas has that Bliss wants. Okay? In that scenario, Bliss was now in complete control of the situation. He could just leave Stolas and never return, or he can keep seeing Stolas. all up to him. And all he had to do was decide in that moment. But still, he acts like an idiot, tries to make a joke of it, and then he gets the nerve to get angry when Stolas walks away from him, starts throwing a tantrum like a child, insulting him. And again, it's okay when Blitz insults people for some reason, but nobody else can do it. And a lot of you like to use trauma as an excuse. So what if he has trauma? Stolas also has trauma. Basically everybody on this show has trauma. That is not an excuse to be a jerk and treat everybody like garbage. Plus, Stolas did not cause his trauma, neither did Blitzo or any of his other exes, but he chooses to take it out on them. He makes it everybody else's problem. And yet you want me to give him a pass? No. You can't punish others for being what you assume is a battle of life. Which is always your excuse. Stolas is privilege. Stolas is privilege. So what? So if people randomly kill a rich person, you could be like, oh, it's okay because they were privileged, they were rich. It's alright that you kill them. You won't, right? So be consistent. You can't treat a person like garbage just because you think they battle offer than you. But if you obviously believe trauma is to get out there freak out for everything, then you should be even more on Stolas' side. Because at least his trauma is still recent and ongoing. He's just now started going through the divorcing process. And before that, he'd been putting up with an abusive wife this whole time. Meanwhile, Blitz, his whole setting the tent on fire and accidentally killing his mother thing happened years ago. Yes, I'm very sorry that's not something you could ever truly 100% get over, but you can move on with your life, move past it. And Blitz is the one choosing not to do that. He is his own problem. I find people like Blitz so annoying. Like, oh, I'm afraid to be alone, but yet you're always pushing people away. Stop doing that and then you won't be alone. It is so simple. But my dad, he also had not so happy childhood. And guess what? He acts nothing like Blitz. He doesn't use that as an excuse to treat everybody around him like garbage. He doesn't try to punish people for being happier than him. He didn't use that as an excuse to treat me or my brothers like garbage. He did everything he could to give us a normal childhood. And he would be the first one to say, Blitz is a piece of garbage person. Well, having a bad childhood is not an excuse to be awful. Speaking of which, before you start calling me a Blitz hater, I had I was to get annoyed with Nuna, his Blitz, okay? Because he's literally the only person who basically cares about her. Yes, he treats him like garbage. See, I'm consistent. You can't say nothing. I am not a Blitz hater. I am someone who acknowledges reality of these fictional characters' behavior. And I think the real main reason why so many people are willing to give Blitz a pass is because You are secretly exactly like him in real life. And by acknowledging he is in the wrong a lot of times, you will have to acknowledge that you are also the problem majority of the time. And you refuse to do that, so instead you try to gaslight everybody else into thinking Stolas the bigger problem and he's not. Let's see, am I forgetting? Oh yeah, stop trying to use the pilot as an excuse to hate on Stolas. That is retcon. Pilot is obviously nothing like TV show Stolas. They're very different. I think the guy comments that they both want a piece of bliss. Now, Stolas calling Bliss while he was in episode 1 running from the lady in distress. So that in order to increase his chances of saying yes to him. I kind of see it. Yeah, that's definitely manipulated tactics right there. I'll acknowledge that. But I just don't give any much thought because at the end of the day, we all know Bliss would have said yes anyway in a calmer situation. And what's my evidence for that? Sockboy in the episode called X's and O's. Plus, so on Oposito, he has a huge, gigantic group of exes. He could have created 2 football teams with them. And the reality is, the person people got a gigantic, long list of exes, they are always the problem. 9 times out of 10, they are almost always the problem in every situation. You don't believe it? Start asking people how many exes they have and write down, okay, are they crazy or not? Start doing that. You will notice that the people with a bunch of exes are all crazy, and they're almost always the drama starter of every single problem. Only small, rare cases in a full blue moon, they weren't the one who started it. The people with a much smaller list, or even 0, they'll sell majority of the time. They're not drama starter. Which reminds me, Stolas. I don't think I don't think, I just don't believe either one of these two truly like each other as much as people like to claim. There is some substance to kill, but in Stolas' case, I think this is more so a case of I was forced into an erased marriage. I never, and now this is my opportunity to go through my little bad boy crossing phase. And that's all it is, because I don't see Stolas really trying to do the whole I can fix something. I think he likes the whole edginess. And the reason why he kept talking to him the way he did in the beginning is because he thought Bliss liked that. We watched the circus episode. Bliss was the one who initiated the sex thing. He seduced Stolas, not the other way around. Stolas just did a little floaty comment, and then me started talking to him like a normal person. And, you saw the whole thing of him tying Stolas up, blindfolding it. I think we could all see why. Stolas would assume, oh yeah, this is into the dirty talk. And when he cusses at me, that's just his way of flirting. But and it also gives me permission to do the same thing right back. Hence the pet name Blitzy. Which by the way, a lot of people complain about too, claiming that Stolas makes it very clear he is uncomfortable being called Blitzy. Why does he keep doing that? Well, so I know he doesn't. Okay. On the phone, he said, when he first heard it, he said, wait, what did he call me? He said something like that. And then on the festival episode, he said, just use my real name. That was a situation where they were in public, and I'm pretty sure he was most upset about that. He doesn't want to be called pet name public. That's all. Uh, in the bedroom, he doesn't seem to care as much, at least nowhere near as much as you people claim. Also, if anything, I think the only thing Stolas did there that was legit undeniably disrespectful was turning off the cigarette against Bliss's horns. And I was just still waiting for his reaction, but Bliss didn't do or say nothing. He just had the same beef face he already had before he Stolas did that. So it's like, okay, I guess Bliss is alright with that somewhat. I personally would have been very angry in his shoes at that point, but he didn't. But again, he didn't say he'll do nothing. He's not the type person to hold back his words, so I'm assuming it's fine. So we're not going to count it. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but Bitcoin stirs the B word all the time. How come that's alright with you, but starts calling him little imbecile? Like, the B word is literally an insult. And you can't say it's because Stolas doesn't mind, because Bliss doesn't mind being called little imp. He never once protested the little imp, so you can't use that excuse. You guys are the one always complaining about the little imp thing, not Bliss. Now the pet name Blissy, sometimes it was really just one episode when they were in public. That's all. Am I forgetting anything? Oh yeah, people complaining about Stolas hiding his face behind the menu in a basement instead of defending Bliss. And my question is, like, what? How? What was he supposed to defend? Everything Ozzy said was true, except for the little comment of, "Oh, you had it all," implied that it was all rainbows and sunshine. That's the only thing that wasn't true. Bliss is the side piece. He is getting on the running towards the boss because he had an affair with Bliss. What did Ozzy said that wasn't true? Also, it makes perfect sense for Stolas to hide his face at that moment. He was embarrassed. He's obviously not a person who typically likes to be the center of attention in most scenarios. Like, look at the Not the Boss party. Stolas is basically just by himself, being a wallflower, getting drunk. And also earlier than that, Wasaka and Fed sorority when they were going at Bliss. Again, what did you want Stolas to say in that moment? He doesn't know Velasquez. He doesn't know Frizzaroli. He doesn't know what the relationship with Bliss was like. Who is he to jump in and say, no, you're wrong. He's not like that. He don't know nothing about the relationship. The only thing he knows is what his personal experience with Bliss. And Bliss is a butthole. Which he seems to like. Also, I think he low-key, also part of the reason why he keeps talking to him the way he does, the way he floats, is because he thinks Bliss is tsundere, basically. He's just playing very hard to get. Hence why he likes being called the B-Wall. He's fine with it. He thinks that's Bliss's way of floating. And it wasn't until the Aussie episode they realized, I might have misread that whole thing. I was thinking you were playing hard to get with me. When in fact, you were legit kind of mad in those situations. Plus, let's not forget, he was giving him outs after that. Now, I don't think the show specifically let us know how many months passed without them doing it. For argument's sake, I'm going to say 3 months. 3 months. And then when they finally get back together, see so again on Full Moon episode, Bliss has the nerve to say, hey, is this because I skip a couple rounds with you? Because I'm busy? That ain't fair. Okay, again, that book belongs to him, Bliss. He gave you the option to not show up. You chose not to come every single time. Which goes to show, if given the option, you will not see him. But still bugs me out the most about stories. Like, why do you want to like this guy so much? He honestly would not see you if given the option. It's been 3 whole months. Now, if your deal was instead, let's do it once a week, I would think nothing about skipping 3 rounds. But it's not. Your deal is once a month. And he let 3 whole months pass by. He obviously doesn't like you. Okay? If I was just kept the freaking taking the book back and never see him again. I don't care if his business goes out. But now he wants to be extra nice to the little jerkwad. And yet people want to villainize him. The man who literally owes Bliss nothing. Okay, Bliss tried to steal from him. The book belongs to Stolas. Bliss doesn't owe him the book. He doesn't owe him any type of helping him whatsoever. And it's Bliss's fault he's in this situation in the first place. Like, who forced you to go after the book instead of the crystal? Who forced you to be a little tramp? And if people want to claim he's the victim, he would have accepted the deal anyway. He would have brought up if Stolas didn't. We've seen the evidence. He would just throw himself at anyone if it will benefit him in some type of way. Stop trying to act like he's a victim. He's not. There are no SA victims here. Neither Bliss nor Stolas. They both consented to this. Am I forgetting anything? Let's see. Season 2. Oh yeah, Stolas had no time to think, to let Octavia know he was going to save Bliss. Bliss was literally seconds away from dying. okay, from the acts, he needed to act quickly. But yet you also demonize that. He literally said the character you guys are so die-hard for. And even in this scenario, you want to complain about, oh, he still took Octavia. Told Octavia. He basically did those bliss of Octavia. No, he didn't. The man was literally about to die. There was no time to think. He had to be all action. That's it. Also, I thought that Mastermind song was super annoying. I don't know why so many people say it was the best song ever. No, it wasn't. It was. Before it's like, okay. The Bliss title, like, okay, now it's garbage. And then the guitars came in, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling that. But then Bliss sang his piece again. I was like, and just like that, Bliss ruined it. And the song was way too long. I didn't like it. Also, I do not think the Bliss story sip is canon now. Maybe it's, but I'm not convinced yet. Like, so they kiss, but considering that the relationship started with fornication, kissing doesn't really mean nothing in this particular scenario. If this was a Disney movie, then yeah, the kiss would be the sign that they are an official couple now, but it's not. This isn't a pure innocent relationship where they met and they sealed it with a kiss. It's, I'm gonna rob you, distract you with effing, and then let's make a deal. I get you sexy time with you for the book. Like, plus at the end of the episode, when they're on the balcony, they look like they're about to kiss, but instead Bliss goes for a hug. Story looked at low-key disappointed by that. I think he took that to mean, oh, okay, my first theory was right. Bliss is only doing this because he feels guilty that I'm now in this situation because I saved him. He doesn't actually like me. So basically, him and Bliss have switched places. It started out with Stolas believing this was this wonderful beginning of a romantic love story. And Bliss thinking he's just using me. He got some type of imp fetish. And now they switch places with Bliss thinking, oh, this is beautiful. This is the start of my happy ending. And now Stolas like, no, he doesn't actually like me. He doesn't actually want me here. He just feels bad for my situation. That's the only reason he's putting up with me right now. So yeah, because of that, I don't think the Stolas Blitzo relationship is canon yet. It probably will become legit in the next season, but right now, one little kiss in an episode does not convince me they're canon. No. This Bliss now has to convince Stolas that he has genuine feelings for Stolas now before we could call this a canon relationship. Now, let's see, anything else? Well, I like to give Busy Park credit for making me realize something. I'm sure all people agree that Celos are like the worst thing in the world. That would be your automatic response if people ask you, what's the worst thing to get your partner could ever do to you? You will automatically say seeding. Well, Busy Park make me realize that no, there's something domestic abuse. Or maybe go, you know what, I don't care that he's sitting on you. Good, you deserve it. So now I will correctly say domestic abuse is the worst thing your partner could ever do. It's the most unforgivable. Even Cedos deserve more compassion than a little person who physically abuses you. And for now, whenever I run into a woman who say her husband say on her wants to see forgive him, I will no longer still have all those mental lies, because that made me realize there is something far worse than being a Cedo. Now, if we see on her like multiple times, then okay, and that's scenario go just a real hard. But if it was only the one time, then okay, fine. You're a man. You can your business. Forget who you want. I won't just. I won't say nothing. None of my business. I can't take the feeling that I'm forgetting an important detail. Mm. Oh well, if I think of it, I'll just write it down in the comment section. Wait. As you can tell, I don't make advanced plans here. I just turn the camera and start yapping whatever enters my mind first. I don't write anything down. Because I feel like I'm just, it's a lot more fun to watch me just go harbor instead of all scripted, trying to remember what I wrote down, because that causes me to do a lot of pauses. So I hope you understand and appreciate me just going blah, 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 instead of planning ahead. Anyway, thank you for watching, especially if you're a pro bliss person all the way and you do not go down to the comment section to cuss at me. Thank you very much for the respect. But if you did cuss, I'm going to block you. Delete your comment. And you're free to try to make me change my mind. It's not going to happen. Like I said, I was raised by a man who also had a crappy childhood. And he's a perfect example of I'm not taking my bad experiences out on anyone else. And again, he will be the first one to say bliss is the problem. So when I got someone like that in my life, there's really nothing you can say to me to convince me bliss is not the number one, the majority of the problems in that relationship. You can't. Like I say, what's Stolas' problem? What is Stolas? He's in our ways marriage. He hates it. He saw his first crush, and he had dumb, stereotypical. Let me go after the bad boy thing, because he never got the experience thing before. Everything's new to him. Everything feels excited. He's literally has a mental he's mentally a teenager in his head when it comes to relationship, because again, he never got the date. And he had his daughter when he was like 19, 18. So his behavior at least makes sense. It's not always right, but it makes sense. While Bliss doesn't make sense. The whole, I want someone desperately, but I'm gonna push everybody away. That don't make sense. Anyway, goodbye.